With Southern United head coach Paul O'Reilly back here at Forsyth Barr after a really good performance here under the roof against Team Wellington. I'm sure you'd like to push on and try and get all 3 points against Waitakere today.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, being back here again, I said last week the lads feel 10 feet tall when they walk out of the tunnel. It's an unbelievable venue. The pitch is by far the best in the country that we get to play on. So yeah, it makes the lads feel 10 feet tall, and we do need to back up with another positive performance similar to last week, and hopefully a good performance gets us the 3 points.
And since your time with Southern United here, it's been quite a good sort of rivalry with Waitakere, who've been a traditionally really strong team in the competition. You have notched up a couple of good wins against Chris Milicich's side, so it should be a really good contest today.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, they've changed this season midway through. A lot of players have come out and a lot of players have gone into their squad. So I'm not really sure what we're going to face. I think lots of good quality young players is the way they've gone. So look, they're going to have energy. They're going to be, they're going to have enthusiasm to try and get a result, especially in these surroundings. So yeah, it's going to be another interesting game. We've had a couple of great battles over the last 3 seasons. So like I said, hopefully we can win the battle and put in a good performance and then get 3 points, and then we look onwards towards Auckland City in a couple of weeks.
And just finally, speaking of young players, you've got a number of young guys who have just been shining lights for you this season. I thought Ben Dealey was one who put in a really good performance last week, along with a couple of the other young guys. I guess you'll be looking for them to push on again, and maybe just looking for that final wee sort of cutting edge in front of goal in that today.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben's done well. He's come in from he was actually living up in Auckland and schooling up in Auckland, originally a Timaru lad. But yeah, he's come in and done really well, and there's another couple of younger players that have done really well as well. So it's about them building their experience and continuing to work hard and trying hard away in the pitch. There's definitely an opportunity for young players to come into the squad. We've got a 15-year-old that's going to be on the bench today, and Oliver Collodi. So look, the opportunity is there, but this is National League football. They've got to come in and perform well. Some of them have been doing that. They need to do it consistently now and continue to progress, and hopefully that progression for them as players sees the team progress and improve as well over the next few years.
Great, thanks Paul, all the best.
Cheers, Morgan.
I'm with Waitakere United head coach Chris Milicich here at Forsyth Barr Stadium. New experience playing under the roof here for you and the team. Must be quite exciting.
It is quite exciting. A lot of the younger players, one of them said to me on the way down, it's in his bucket list to play here. So, they're excited to play on what will be a quality service.
Yeah, and coming off a bit of a funny old game last week where you're probably the better team for the opening half hour, and then had a bit of an unfortunate red card and made things pretty tough for you boys in some extreme heat. You almost hung in there.
Yeah, we almost hung in there. Look, decisions cost you matches from players, and decisions cost you matches from referees. Look, I think we were by far the better team, and even with 10 men we had 3 or 4 one-on-ones that we could have put away. But credit to Tasman, they never stopped. They kept coming at us, and it was about they got a goal to equalise, and then the last 2 came really late in the match when the boys, after 10 men, when that sort of 32+ degrees heat, the boys just wilted. They just couldn't keep going, and I've never been more proud of a team actually to play in that heat and never give up. But they're young, they're learning, and that's what we're trying to do this year since Christmas in this club.
Yeah, and so as you said, there are some really talented young guys coming through, and including some that haven't sort of featured too much early on in the season. So it must be a bit of a challenge, but also quite exciting integrating them into the squad for this part of the season.
Well, we took the opportunity right from the beginning to have our youth team and our senior team quite working together quite strongly. So a lot of the youth players that you're starting to see that are representing now, they also were part of the training squad right up into Christmas. The aim was always to give the young ones an opportunity. We have to build a brand new Waitakere, sort of what we call one of the Auckland competitive teams. That's going to take time. We don't have the resources that other clubs do, so we've got to build from where we are, and I think that the performances that we're putting on show that we're on the right track. But like all young players, they're brilliant one week and then they're not so good the next week, and you've just got to put up with that, because the reality is, to get a player to come through and play consistency at this level and beyond, they need time, and that's what they need, time. So we've got a lot of young ones starting today, and we'll see what they do today.
Fantastic. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
with Southern United head coach Paul O'Reilly back here at Forsyth Barr after a really good performance here under the roof against Team Wellington. I'm sure you'd like to push on and try and get all 3 points against Waitakere today.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, being back here again, I said last week the lads feel 10 feet tall when they walk out of the tunnel. It's an unbelievable venue. The pitch is by far the best in the country that we get to play on. So yeah, it makes the lads feel 10 feet tall, and we do need to back up with another positive performance similar to last week, and hopefully a good performance gets us the 3 points.
And since your time with Southern United here, it's been quite a good sort of rivalry with Waitakere, who have been a traditionally really strong team in the competition. You have notched up a couple of good wins against Chris Milicich's side, so it should be a really good contest today.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, they've changed this season midway through. A lot of players have come out and a lot of players have gone into their squad. So I'm not really sure what we're going to face. I think lots of good quality young players is the way they've gone. So look, they're going to have energy. They're going to be, they're going to have enthusiasm to try and get a result, especially in these surroundings. So yeah, it's going to be another interesting game. We've had a couple of great battles over the last 3 seasons. So like I said, hopefully we can win the battle and put in a good performance and then get 3 points, and then we look onwards towards Auckland City in a couple of weeks.
And just finally, speaking of young players, you've got a number of young guys who have just been shining lights for you this season. I thought Ben Dealey was one who put in a really good performance last week, along with a couple of the other young guys. I guess you'll be looking for them to push on again, and maybe just looking for that final wee sort of cutting edge in front of goal in that today.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben's done well. He's come in from he was actually living up in Auckland and schooling up in Auckland, originally a SUvWU lad. But yeah, he's come in and done really well, and there's another couple of younger players that have done really well as well. So it's about them building their experience and continuing to work hard and trying hard away at the pitch. There's definitely an opportunity for young players to come into the squad. We've got a 15-year-old that's going to be on the bench today, and Oliver Collodi. So look, the opportunity is there, but this is National League football. They've got to come in and perform well. Some of them have been doing that. They need to do it consistently now and continue to progress, and hopefully that progression for them as players sees the team progress and improve as well over the next few years.
Great, thanks Paul, all the best.
Cheers, Morgan.
I'm with Waitakere United head coach Chris Milicich here at Forsyth Barr Stadium. New experience playing under the roof here for you and the team. Must be quite exciting.
It is quite exciting. A lot of the younger players, one of them said to me on the way down, it's in his bucket list to play here. So, they're excited to play on what will be a quality service.
Yeah, and coming off a bit of a funny old game last week where you're probably the better team for the opening half hour, and then had a bit of an unfortunate red card and made things pretty tough for your boys in some extreme heat. You almost hung in there.
Yeah, we almost hung in there. Look, decisions cost you matches from players, and decisions cost you matches from referees. Look, I think we were by far the better team, and even with 10 men we had 3 or 4 one-on-ones that we could have put away. But credit to Tasman, they never stopped. They kept coming at us, and it was about they got a goal to equalise, and then the last 2 came really late in the match when the boys, after 10 men, when that sort of 32+ degrees heat, the boys just wilted. They just couldn't keep going, and I've never been more proud of a team actually to play in that heat and never give up. But they're young, they're learning, and that's what we're trying to do this year since Christmas in this club.
Yeah, and so as you said, there are some really talented young guys coming through, and including some that haven't sort of featured too much early on in the season. So it must be a bit of a challenge, but also quite exciting integrating them into the squad for this part of the season.
Well, we took the opportunity right from the beginning to have our youth team and our senior team working together quite strongly. So a lot of the youth players that you're starting to see that are representing now, they also were part of the training squad right up into Christmas. The aim was always to give the young ones an opportunity. We have to build a brand new Waitakere, sort of what we call one of the Auckland competitive teams. That's going to take time. We don't have the resources that other clubs do. So we've got to build from where we are, and I think that the performances that we're putting on show that we're on the right track.
Hello everyone, welcome to Sunday round 14 of the National League season, ISPS HANDA Premier League. Southern United versus Waitakere United at Forsyth Barr Stadium. The last Forsyth Barr Stadium game we'll see this season, unfortunately, but it has been pretty brilliant. Alongside me today, as per last week, Morgan and Lewis. How you doing, guys?
Yeah, very well, thank you, Chris.
Good.
Now we're looking forward to an interesting contest today. Paul O'Reilly in his pre-match interview made a pretty good statement that he doesn't really know what we're going to get from Waitakere today, having lost a few players, but certainly they're still going to be a dangerous side.
Yeah, they've got some really exciting attacking players in their lineup. But as you pointed out before the match, Chris, it's a pretty attacking lineup that Paul O'Reilly is sending out for Southern United here today as well. So let's hope we get a few more goals than last week, eh, Louis?
Yeah, definitely. We were unlucky not to win last week. I thought against Team Wellington, they were on the ropes a bit.
Lewis and I were having a chat on the way here about how Bournemouth beat Chelsea 4-0 last weekend, and despite having very little possession, they had a huge amount of opportunities on goal, and just reiterates really that it doesn't have to be the team with the most possession that wins the game, and it's about the penetration, what we do with the ball. And certainly Paul was happy last week with the amount of chances that he created and his team created, so yeah, he'll be looking for a similar performance today.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, that, because we don't necessarily get all the same kind of stats on games that you do for Premier League football and that, and I'm sure Team Wellington would have had a wee bit more possession than Southern last week, but I don't think it was actually that big a difference. And like you said, it's that's how Southern set up. They're organised defensively, and then it's all about pouncing on mistakes and getting some of those quality attackers on the ball.
Now a couple of changes for Southern United today, or actually maybe just one from last week. So it looks like Paul set up with the usual 4-3-3 formation. Changes, Sam Pickering looks to be starting at left fullback instead of Marcus Fjortoff, and new signing Connor McDonald comes into what looks like an attacking centre midfield position, alongside Danny Ledworth with Tony just in behind.
And that's kick-off. Anyway.
Early touch for Liam Little. He always likes to get a touch nice and early, so he'll be happy about that.
Tony Whitehead. No luck with his pass. Oh. Garman takes it down. Good piece of skill. Now here's Whitehead.
Abdullah El Khalisi on the ball there, who was pretty impressive last week. Good work rate.
Yeah, I thought he had a very strong performance. Him and Ben Daly playing either side of Garvin. They were very solid.
Yeah.
Tony Whitehead, Lewis, is one of, would you say, your favourite player?
Yeah, definitely. He coached me down in Waitakere. He was a good coach. And so did Eric Panzer. He's playing left back, I think, today.
And there's the Waitakere captain, Sam Burfoot, surging through the midfield, and Ollie Bassett now on the ball, but that's well cleared by Ben Daly. And Southern will look to counter.
I've got to say that Waitakere, despite losing a few players recently, have some extremely talented players in the lineup still. Oliver Bassett, as you said, Morgan, Andrew Aber, obviously Sam Burfoot. High quality players who they'll be hoping will make a difference for them today.
Yeah, Ollie Bassett, he's still only 20 years old. He's played for Northern Irish youth team, and he's played some league football with Yeovil Town over in England, and I think in League 2, so the fourth tier there. He was actually the youngest ever player at the age of 17 to play football for them. So, and he's been a real threat in the National League this season. So he'll be someone for the Southern defence to watch out for, that's for sure.
Stephen Last, back to Liam Little. Now Eric Panzer to Whitehead.
Connor O'Keefe on the ball there before, Chris, who might have just about been your pick for player of the match last week.
Yeah, I thought he was exceptional last week. He's an extremely consistent player, and you can say he's in the top 3 performers of any game I've been at. I don't think I've ever seen him have a poor performance. Showed good leadership, was very strong in full-back position. Team Wellington obviously have some extremely talented players. He dealt with them, I thought, really well.
It goes all the way back to the Waitakere keeper, Nick Draper.
Now, Connor McDonald is his debut today for Southern United. Bit of movement in the transfer market from a variety of teams, but Southern had a few departures. Nick Treadwell, Lee McDevitt, Cam Gordon, 3 English players who Liam's off to Tasman. He's made a couple of appearances. And Connor is one of the players that's come in to bolster Paul's attacking options for the rest of the season. I believe after that, Connor's targeting spending some time in Auckland. His expertise are in marketing, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of need there.
Great, so he's in shirt number 7 for those folks watching from home. Sort of in an attacking midfield role, he's probably going to look to utilise that space in behind Garvin Coughlin up top. And that is McDonald finding Coughlin, who's puts it across, trying to find Abdullah El Khalisi, but can't quite find his man. But promising stuff there for Southern United in attack. It's another really hot day here out on the pitch, isn't it? So it's going to be another real battle of attrition out there for the players. Waitakere are coming off a match last week up in Nelson, which was played in even more extreme heat against Tasman United. Waitakere did lose 3-1, although probably doesn't tell the story of the game. Waitakere were looking pretty good in the opening half hour, and then had a man shown a straight red card. And even then it was still a pretty even battle. And it was a couple of very late goals for Tasman, which stole the victory. So Chris Milicic said before the game that he was actually really proud of the way that his young team battled away in that game in the conditions with only 10 men. So they have a free kick here, and it's captain Sam Burfoot who's going to take it. He sends it in, and Panza gets a clearing header along with Ledwith. And Connor McDonald looking to pounce on attack now.
You've got to say that's a great clearance from Eric Panza there. It was quite a dangerous ball, actually floated in to a pretty tough area to defend.
Yeah. Kicked out there, Garvin couldn't make it to that one.
Lewis, how many do you reckon at the game today?
Oh, looks to me about 100 or even more.
Yeah, still people coming in. This is Dunedin, so
it's always tricky to tell in such a big stadium, and some of the fans are so spread out. I can see about half a dozen people in the very top row of the north stand. They're even higher up than we are in the main stand here.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a great day to be watching football on another fantastic pitch here at Forsyth Barr.
One of the best pitches in the league.
Yeah, Paul O'Reilly said before the game that he said it's the condition it's in at the moment, it's probably the best pitch around.
Good interception from Waitakere.
Yeah, Jake Meachell feeds it on there. Can't find Andrew Ebber at the far post.
Well, Garvin's pulled there.
Yeah, it's a clear free kick to clear the danger for Southern United there.
Must have got a bit frustrated, but
so these two teams had a 1-1 draw up in Auckland in the first round. It feels like a long time ago now. I think that might have been our televised game as well. The Waitakere team in particular it's a very different lineup to what they had at that stage of the season.
Yeah, I think that was Abdullah El Khalisi opened the scoring for Southern, and then Waitakere equalised fairly quickly.
Sam Pickering there battling on the ball, and he's actually managed to win the throw for Southern United, so good work there. He's, as Chris said earlier, shifted back into the fullback position today by the looks of it.
Yep. Here's Sam Pickering again. And we'll get another throw in the same spot.
Get into football week this week in New Zealand football land, and that means that there are a few copies of FIFA 19 for PlayStation to be given away to some lucky fans today. So I believe what's happening is our mascot, Ramsey or William, or we're not sure of the name anymore, it keeps changing every few years, will be kicking some footballs into the stands later. And if you get one with a sticker on, then that's a brand new FIFA 19 game for you.
Yeah, can you tell us a wee bit more, Chris, about get into football? It's just a sort of general call to arms for the start of the season to look at registering for your local club?
Yeah, that's right. It's just about letting everyone know that registrations are now open, and yeah, if you want to give the game a go in whatever form, then we can help you get started, you know.
And I see it looks like most of the local clubs here in Dunedin are sort of getting right in behind that as well, and they're already sort of publicising across social media and that their registrations are open, so it looks like clubs are pretty organised this year, which is good to see.
Yeah, look, last year we dealt with quite a big technology change with comments, and this year we're a bit better prepared, so yeah, it's hopefully we'll start to see sign-ups coming in pretty soon. Lewis, you're a FIFA fan?
Yeah.
Are you the best player in your school?
Oh, in my school, definitely, but not in my neighbourhood.
Oh, right.
Not many kids play at my school. Myself, my brother, and my best friend are the ones that play. And yeah, but in the neighbourhood there are some teenagers that are quite good at it.
Those teenagers, eh? Nothing but time on their hands.
Exactly. I swear, they don't even do their homework, they're just playing FIFA. So.
Don't let the teachers hear that.
Yeah.
As Waitakere United launch a cross in, and it's a long-range effort that was scuffed there by Ignacio Machuca, but easily through for Liam Little. Chris, do you have much insight into which of the Southern United squad members here are the sharpest when it comes to playing FIFA?
Yeah, I think it's widely known that Garvin Coughlin is pretty good at FIFA. I think, like you said, Lewis, Garvin doesn't do his homework, so he has enough time for FIFA.
Yeah. There was Garvin on the ball.
I have actually played FIFA against Garvin, and he went gently on me.
What was the score? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think he won. Yeah. I know he won. I don't remember the score. Either that or I've blanked it out.
Yeah.
Football South have some funding to use this year from the Gig City Fund to run an esports tournament in Dunedin. So we'll be announcing details about that over the next month or two. It's changed dates a few times. We were originally going to do it in conjunction with the Home and Living show last year, but yeah, there's been a few changes in how to run that sort of competition online, so we're just making sure that if we do it, we do a good job. Would you enter that, Lewis?
The esports tournament?
Yeah.
What would it be like? Would it be teams or just solos?
There'll probably be a doubles and a singles FIFA tournament.
Oh, I couldn't
As
hear.
Garvin Coughlin chips one over the top there, trying to find Ben Dealey, not too far away, but Nick Draper's able to wrap it up.
Yeah, sorry, inside of mostly talk about FIFA, there will be some commentary on the game.
Yep.
Stadium's filling up a bit. It looks 200 to 300, I'd say.
Yeah, it's definitely filling up. Still people coming in through the gate there.
Here's number 3 for Nico.
Yeah, Nico Steinmetz, who I think he's come into the lineup to replace Jorgensen, who was sent off and suspended last week.
Bad pass.
Yeah, well cut out by Connor O'Keefe there.
He's gonna go across. Stephen last. Garvin Cooglin looking over.
It's a great ball to Ben
Yeah,
Dealey.
great ball to Ben Dealey in space, and numbers getting forward here for Southern. Dealey, I think, is naturally left-footed, isn't he? So he'll be looking to cut in, and yeah, good effort there from Whitehead from distance. It's encouraging for Southern United.
First real shot on goal, I'd say so far.
Yeah.
Now next weekend, Southern United have a weekend off, which I'm sure the team will dearly love. And our next game after that is a home game catch-up against Auckland City on the 13th of February at Sunnyvale. I think it's a 5:30 kickoff, 6 o'clock kickoff.
And that's a midweek game, is it, Chris?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So Auckland City away at the Luna Cup at the moment. Hopefully they come back extremely tired. Of course, they went and won away at Canterbury yesterday, 1-0. Good result for them. I thought Canterbury were unlucky.
Yeah, it leaves Auckland City clearly out in front on the table. They've won all 13 matches so far, and so they're 11 points clear of Eastern Suburbs. This, I'm guessing a playoff spot isn't completely out of the chances of happening for Southern United. I think we're down in 7th at the moment, but a win here could put us leapfrog us above Hawke's Bay and Hamilton with a game in hand, potentially.
Yeah, it could. Guys.
A free kick here for Waitakere. Steinmetz, who just chips it across. And now comes to Chris Carpenter, who scored the opening goal for Waitakere United last weekend. Great header there by Eric Panzer. Here's Bassett on the ball. Makes its way out to Steinmetz, who swings across in, and Andrew Ebber acrobatically trying to get on the end of it, but it was reasonably comfortable for Liam Little there.
Oh, it's a bad
That's
pass.
a sloppy giveaway though, and Ollie Bassett pounces. He'll have a crack, but it's straight at Little, but it's just a wee concentration lapse from Southern there. They'll want to watch that.
Yeah.
I think Connor O'Keefe probably said politely there to Eric Panzer, please don't do that again.
Yeah.
Oh, ball into the stands. Thrown in. Tony wins it.
Nicely done by Whitehead. So strong in the middle of the park.
Here he is again. So I think that's
Oh, Khaleesi completely does Dane Schnell there and wins a free kick with the tackle from Ignacio Machuca. So
terrible challenge.
I'd love to see a bit more of that from El Khaleesi. His work rate was great last week, but he's such a good player on the ball, so it's nice to see him prepared to take the player on there.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the game, about players who aren't afraid to actually drive into the space, take a player on, and it's great to see El Khaleesi doing it there. We saw Garvin Coughlin do that against Hamilton Wanderers really effectively.
Yeah.
Looks like El Khaleesi is going to take this free kick. He earned it.
And the big noggin of Stephen Last is going to be around the near post, probably trying to get on the end of this one. Although it comes to Coughlin at the near post, and there's a very tricky angle for a header, and it looks like it has picked up a deflection for another for a corner for Southern United here.
It's a great delivery there by Danny Ledwith on his trusty left peg.
Well, this one will be El Khaleesi. Connor McDonald on the edge of the box.
Khaleesi swings it in, looking for Stephen Last. Draper did well to get a hand to it.
Oh, it's headed up, another corner.
And Waitakere just about get it clear with Riley Omega getting a header away for another corner there.
just while we wait for that corner, a couple of bits of news. Graham Marshall hopefully joining us at halftime for a bit of a chat. Graham Marshall, former All Whites captain in the 80s and 90s, based down here in Dunedin, also on the Football South board, so we'll be hearing from him hopefully at halftime, if you want to hang around for that.
But then, looking for Stephen last, headed away though. Oh, it's a bad pass.
And that's a clever ball through. Chipped across, and Draper has just done enough there. He blocked El Khalisi's driven cross, and geez, he almost deflected it into his own net there at the near post, didn't he, Louis? Only just missed the goals.
Yeah, that was good scenes for Southern United.
Yeah, great pressure here from Southern United. Another corner now. They've had 3 or 4
In a row.
corners and free kicks here. So Ledwith swings it in.
It's high. Garvin.
That's clever centred ball from Coughlin, but Waitakere look to counter now, and Andrew Ebber is on the ball. He's in a bit of space here, and he has some support. Gets it, tries to get it out wide to Bassett, but easily cut out.
Connor O'Keefe there. Solid player.
Yeah, a little bit worrying now, 3-on-3 for Sydney United. Connor O'Keefe interception, thankfully.
Oh, Kugel's running.
Ledwith with plenty of time on the ball.
Kugelin with a chance. So there's Southern United throw. Near the corner flag.
Garvin Coughlin just keeps running in behind the fullbacks there.
Yeah, I think Riley Omega had to be very careful there. Was happy just to get it cleared away.
Obviously, luckily it wasn't another incident like last week's.
And
That's another corner.
they've got another corner, so more pressure here for the Waitakere defence.
Stephen Last getting a bit of exercise here.
He is having to trudge forward and race back a few times, but he's always good for popping up with a goal every now and then, so it'd be a great time to do one now, about 20 minutes into the match here.
Good for the fans.
Ledwith swings it in, and Last was only inches away.
Now here come Waitakere on the counter.
Waitakere survive again and get a wee bit of a soft free kick there. But I think Waitakere will definitely take that as they just try and relieve a bit of the pressure. And is that a yellow card?
Yeah, Conor McDonald picking up a yellow card there for what I assume is stopping a promising attacking opportunity.
Yeah, probably a little bit tough on him because Southern did seem to have plenty of players back at the time, so it wasn't like it was a real breakaway. But
Yeah, I mean,
referee stamping an early mark there.
Paul O'Reilly just looks a bit confused about that one.
it's a seagull.
So referee today is Matt Conger, who became our latest referee to officiate at a men's FIFA World Cup event last year. He was the man in the middle for a match between, who was it? I think it was Iceland and Nigeria. And he was actually one of the first referees to use the VAR technology in that World Cup, so to overturn a decision to award a penalty. So no VAR today at Forsyth Barr Stadium.
What World Cup did he ref at?
That was just World Cup just a few months ago last year that France won.
Wait, he refed at the actual World Cup?
He refereed at the World Cup, yeah, so I think he became just the third New Zealander to referee a men's World Cup match.
Wow, that's quite cool.
That gives you some hope with your budding referee career, Lewis?
Oh yeah, definitely. Thought about that. Just depends who you're refereeing, because refereeing in El Clasico, Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Oh, as the shot swung in, there's a bit of a claim for handball, but Panzer had his back to goal there. And Southern will clear, and it's Conor McDonald dropping quite deep there.
Ben Dealey tries his best.
Oh, and Connor McDonald going in again there. He's playing with a good high intensity today, which is good. He'll just have to balance it out given the early yellow card. And there's a free kick awarded for Stephen Last, just clattering through the back of the Waitakere United player. Didn't appear to be a lot in it, but it's going to be a free kick in quite a good position here for Waitakere.
Yeah, it looks a little bit harsh to me. Probably a bit borderline. Stephen Last attacking from the ball from behind. But he came away with the ball cleanly. But I'm probably not the right person to ask when it comes to refereeing decisions. And
You've done all right in the games I've seen you ref, Chris. It's never easy. We spoke about that last week. So Southern with, I think, 3 players in the wall here. Free kick struck from distance and deflected for a corner.
Waitakere's first corner of the match. What can they make of it? Hopefully nothing.
Yeah, I imagine that the player they'll be looking to get onto the end of this one will be number 5, Chris Carpenter, who's just slowly making his way in towards the back post rather sneakily. He cropped up with a headed goal from a corner. Oh, and there he is. He did get his head to the ball in almost identical fashion to that which he scored against Tasman last week, but it was well blocked by the defender who had read it, so it'll be another corner from the other side now for Waitakere.
we have received a number of requests to stop being so neutral. We are trying to put ourselves in positions for Sky Sport in the future, I guess.
Of course we are. Burfoot swings in this corner and I think that might have been maybe Dane Schnell, who had quite a clear header there but couldn't get it close to the goal despite getting a bit of power into it. So that was a real chance there for Waitakere.
Oh no, I missed that one.
Schnell winning the header there, but that's easy for Panzar to nod back to Liam Little. Didn't really have too much to do last week, did he, Liam Little? He made a couple of good interceptions and saves, but Team Wellington didn't really push him too many times.
I think there was one opportunity I thought he did really well with.
Yeah.
At the near post,
here's Andrew Evan. Against the post.
Oh.
And then Jake Michelle with the follow-up. Blocked and...
Stephen Last
wow.
clears it.
That was a big chance there for Andrew Abber, who managed to find a bit of space and tried to beat Little at his near post, but thundered against the post.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Abber can do, given a bit of space to drive into, and lucky for us that he can pull off a good finish there.
Out wide to the redhead.
Yeah, Bassett with the low cross, but Little, big man, but gets down well for that one.
Good on him.
Yeah, Waitakere certainly just working their way into this match now, so it's been a good contest so far. 27th minute, still no goals.
Tony White making a run there. He's spotted. Can he get to the ball? Keeper's out.
Yeah,
as I was saying, Liam Little, I thought he made a really good save last week, low to his left post from a Wellington header.
Yes.
And whilst it might have seemed straightforward, I don't believe it is.
Yes, Abber finds his way past Pickering, but Stephen Last gets his legs in the way, and Pickering on the ball now.
Arbor is causing some problems for Southern United.
Yeah. Seems that whenever Danny Ledwith is getting on the ball, he's in quite a bit of space, and he's quite liking the opportunity to, almost like a quarterback, just look for trying to find the likes of Garvin Coughlin up front.
I think Danny Ledwith there saying, pass it harder.
Yeah.
A couple of Suns passes are just not quite finding their mark in the centre of midfield.
He's Ledwith again with tons of time on the ball. And finds McDonald.
Connor McDonald, Eric Panzer. Looking for Ben Dealey. away into the stand it goes.
It does look like Waitakere having some success on Southern's left fullback position. I do wonder if Paul might switch Connor O'Keefe and Sam Pickering over, just to strengthen up that 1v1 a little bit.
Yeah, although then do have Ollie Bassett as Coghlan gets in behind, but just no support in the middle there. Yeah, with Ollie Bassett on the other side, Waitakere do have plenty of attacking threats down those flanks, so will be tricky for Southern in that respect today, as here's Aber on the ball again.
The great thing about Sam Pickering is he's actually quite versatile.
Yeah.
So far this season he's played across the back line and in midfield.
So that's easily cut out by Connor O'Keefe.
Is Stephen lost?
Connor O'Keefe's positional sense is just so good. He makes those interceptions just look so easy. Makes it look like the ball's kicked straight to him, but it's just he's just thinking that little bit ahead of the opposition.
Unlucky there. Number 5 charging forward.
Yes, Chris Carpenter, the defender, and I think there was Connor McDonald who he's just getting a wee talking to here from Matt Conga, because he has already been booked and he's certainly not going to pick up a yellow card for that foul there, but he'll just need to be a bit mindful of that, and I think he's just been told to watch that from the bench. You can't argue against his eagerness though on his first appearance here for Southern, and there he is again with a crunching tackle on Carpenter.
One of the challenges for Connor McDonald coming into this league will be, I guess, getting used to the intensity and the tempo and the way a lot of the games are played. But certainly compared to the League of Ireland, this league won't be as physical.
Yeah, and of course the other big change for the players that do come from the UK and that is playing in the middle of summer and playing in these kind of conditions that they're often not particularly used to. So just got to watch how much gas he leaves in the tank. But once again, Southern have got some good options on the bench today, the likes of Ben Wade, and might even see a bit more of Azariah Soroman today.
Yeah, Azariah looked great for the few minutes he was on last week. Oliver Collody, 15 years old, local player, also on the bench.
I haven't seen much of Oliver, but have heard so much about the big reps that he's got on him. So it must just be fantastic for him, even just to be part of the setup and training and that at such a young age. And I guess when he's on the bench, he's got every chance of actually getting out on the pitch as well.
Now, Paul O'Reilly does respect a lot of his players in terms of being at National League quality, their work rate, their attitude, and so Oliver would have earned his place on the bench today, and he'll earn an opportunity as the season goes on as well.
Whitehead on it. Looking for Coghlan. Cut out though.
Yeah, Bassett so dangerous on the ball. He finds Jake Michel out on the left-hand side there, back to Bassett.
Safely plays it. Over Connor O'Keefe, he's unlucky not to get it.
Pretty organised structure from Southern with plenty of players back there, and McDonald now has a chance to counter. There's Garvin Coghlan ahead of him. He might have just been in an offside position there.
Yeah, I thought Connor McDonald did well there to hold the play up. Steinmetz here on the ball. Watered off by Denny Ledwith.
Just about keeps it in, but...
Oh no, that's a throw.
It is a throw-in with Andrea Verolino, the linesman there, signalling a throw-in for Southern. Cool play from Ledwith. He finds Pickering, and once again Ledwith, plenty of time, launches it forward for Coghlan. Coghlan dropping very deep there.
Yeah, you'll see Garvin do that a lot. He will drop deep create some space for himself, and then come back into play just like he is now.
Yeah. And El Khaleesi, unfortunately, just in an offside position. Yeah, I think I understand that Garvin, prior to coming over here to Southern, was probably classified more as a sort of attacking midfield player rather than an out-and-out striker, so he's certainly got that side to his game. As Aber gets a shot away, he's claiming a handball, but you're never going to get one there when you're 6 inches away from the player who's been struck. He's well shut down there. Steinmetz gets a throw in, and it's a clever low ball, and Jake Michel, he found Andrew Ebber there, who had a lot of space, only 8 yards out, and he shanked a shot well wide of goal. That was a big chance for Waitakere.
Really should have stuck that in the net.
Yeah, that's a huge let-off for Southern United there. They have got to sort that out.
Andrew Ebber is a bit of a veteran these days, a Solomon Islander, 29 years of age, and he's had just one appearance for the Solomon Islands national team back in 2013, but he's been a strong player in the National League for a number of years now. He follows on from a couple of other notable Solomon Islanders who have played for Chris Milicich's Waitakere side, including Benjamin Totori and the late Commons Manapi. I know Totori was one of my brother's favourite players growing up. Still is, apparently.
Now guys, I can see a Thistle FC flag over in the stand there, and one of the confusing things about that is that we do have 2 clubs called Thistle in the Federation. Either it's the Southland one or the Timaru one.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if I've spotted that at a game here before, so...
great to see.
Yeah, great to see if someone's travelled and brought along the banner.
Good press from Southern.
Yeah, Carpenter has to go back to Nick Draper in goals there. And Waitakere United will start over again. Connor McDonald again putting pressure on the Waitakere defence. And Coughlin there gets on. There was an underhit back pass from Chris Carpenter, and Draper only just got there in time before Garvin Coughlin.
Here's Ben Dealey now, running down the line with the pace.
Dealey down that right hand side, he swings in across, and Coughlin gets onto it, gets a shot on target, but just not enough power to trouble Draper. But good stuff here from Southern United.
That was great advantage play there from the referee. There was a flag for offside for a Waitakere player at the other end. The referee obviously got a communication in his ear. You saw him raise his arms for advantage, so it's good to see that.
And it was nice from Dealey down that right hand side though, getting a good cross in and finding Coughlin near the penalty spot. As Aber finds himself surrounded by 3 players and still just about gets away, but nicely done there by El Khaleesi, working so hard in defence. And
here's
the flag, the offside flag has gone up. Well,
It's unlucky there. He did miss the shot, but
yeah, that
great.
was
Brilliant scenes from...
the kind of chance that Garvin Coughlin so often gets onto the end of, those clever balls over the top. He's so good at finding space. So that's a wake-up call for Waitakere, who were caught out in defence with one of the goals last week with a very high and flat back line. El Khaleesi turns. Good sharp turn.
Chance.
He has support and will win a throw in. Ledwith swings it in, looking for Coughlin, and gets a touch, just lost his footing. And McDonald's done well to keep the ball in, but just can't quite keep control of the ball. So another couple of half chances there for Southern. They're starting to look quite dangerous, and it's nice to see just how quickly Connor McDonald is integrated into the lineup here. McDonald again diving in.
He's got to be careful. He's already got a yellow card and a caution.
Sam Burfoot trying to get more involved in the game. He launches it forward. It's a wee bit hopeful though.
Hopefully not another 0-0 for Southern.
It's been an entertaining game so far.
Yeah, definitely.
Comes across to Dane Snell. Just 19 years of age. He's played through New Zealand age grade footy sides.
Oh, great chance.
And here's Eber, and and
It's
he's
1-0.
scuffed it in, and somehow Southern don't quite get it clear, and Waitakere United take a 1-0 lead after 39 minutes.
Well, it is a goal.
Yeah, Andrew Eber claims the goal. It seemed to be a bit of a scuffed shot, but did enough to just sneak in at the far post. And almost against the run of play, Waitakere United take the lead. I think that's Andrew Eber's 4th goal of the season. He's always a threat. He hasn't even played too many games. It might only be about his 5th match. So, such a dangerous player, but that'll be a bit disappointing for the Southern United defence, who have prided themselves on just how difficult they've made it for their opponents to score lately.
Now I'm expecting Southern to go a lot more attacking. Stephen Love.
El Khaleesi does well to shut down his opponent, and Connor
Yes,
McDonald
Connor
now on the ball.
Oh,
Finds
big tackle.
struggling through to McDonald. Oh! And his shot was blocked by Draper, and
Oh my gosh.
Draper also saves the follow-up long distance effort from El Khaleesi. Great play from the Waitakere goalkeeper there, Nick Draper, but that was another big chance for Southern. Garvin Coughlin, 1-on-1.
Oh, should be 1-1.
Yeah, the keeper's done well and just closing him down. But Southern's heads certainly haven't dropped after conceding that goal.
Yeah, Conor McDonald opportunity there to score in his debut. But unfortunately, still 1-0
Yeah,
down.
McDonald, yeah, he's just looking so sharp.
He won't forget that opportunity anytime soon.
Well, until he scores, Lewis.
Yep.
Nick Isaac on the ball there, swings it out to Nico Steinmetz. Couple of strong challenges there, and the referee has come back for a free kick.
Could have been any one of 3 players on the ground there, really.
Yeah, they just seemed like good, strong physical challenges, but he's seen enough for a free kick. This will be another chance for captain Sam Burfoot to swing in a free kick. A few of their attacking players aren't exactly huge, the likes of Bassett and Abba, but you get a bit of the tall timber forward. And they do connect with a header, but doesn't threaten the goals.
Liam Little just had a little slip there as well, so
Yeah.
it's a bit of a let off again.
Can Southern find an equaliser just before half time?
launched forward. And there's Steinmetz pressing forward, finds Eber. Tries to open up for a shot, but he's pushed very wide. That's good from Eric Panzer. Bassett does have a go, but sends it well over the bar there. No threat for Liam Little.
Yeah, you see Connor O'Keefe there, just again probably using nice words to ask, how did that happen? As Andrew Abbo waltzes his way past 3 or 4 players.
Daniel Lidworth.
I'd say it was positive that no players went to ground there, they all stood up.
Yeah.
You can, it's always dangerous giving away penalties, and so keeping him running away from goal is the ideal.
As we move into the closing minutes of the first half here, it's been a pretty even half, but Waitakere with the only goal of the match through Andrew Eber.
Seconds to half time, plus whatever's added on.
Ledwith surveying his options, finds the feet of Coughlin, and he can't quite find one of his teammates. He had a number of players forward there, which is encouraging. The ball's just about stayed in there. And now Waitakere get forward again through Sam Burfoot. Such an experienced player. Number of seasons with Auckland City and was with Eastern Suburbs last season.
Yeah, you just see Paul O'Reilly shaking his head there. I think that's perhaps the 3rd or 4th time in 5 minutes where Southern have lost the ball in midfield when an easy pass has been available.
Yeah. Dealey coming to middle of the park, turns on the ball, and he has an overlapping run there from Connor O'Keefe getting forward and fires goal. Dealey with a great effort, but another good save by Nick Draper, who has somehow managed to keep everything out that's been fired his way. There's been a couple of great saves that he's made.
Southern is so unlucky not to score a goal. Here they are, it's corner.
Yeah, El Khaleesi with the corner as Southern look to equalise just before the break.
What can they do from it?
Yeah, short corner here with an overlap.
Short. Tony Cruz, Marco Royce style at the World Cup. Yeah, what have they got? Whipped it all.
Plenty of players forward for Ben Dealey to find there, but it was deflected, and Matt Conga signals half time, so
1-0.
1-0 to Waitakere United. What do you make of the half, Louis?
Oh, well, both teams have had good chances. Southern's unlucky not to score a goal. Waitakere, yeah, they've had a couple good chances. So has Southern. I'd say it's been a pretty even game.
Yeah, Southern have forced a few good saves out of Nick Draper and goals for Waitakere, but he's been up to the task so far. So might be back to the drawing board a wee bit for Southern, but still plenty of encouragement from that half of football as well.
Yeah, just a reminder, in about 3 minutes we'll have Graham Marshall here, ex-all-white captain, for a little interview. So I'll just go and find him actually, Morgan. Be
Brilliant.
back shortly.
Thanks. Stay with us and we'll be back with you very soon. Great, so it's half time here at Forsyth Barr Stadium in the ISPS HANDA Premiership match between Southern United and Waitakere. Waitakere leading 1-0. Just having a chat here at half time with former All White Graham Marshall. Thanks for making your way across the field and up all those stairs, Graham. It's a bit of a climb up here, isn't it?
Good workout, actually.
Yeah. What have you made of the game so far?
Look, obviously it's a very close contest. We've been pretty proud of the Southern boys recently, and we've got a good crowd here again today supporting them. Bit unfortunate about the goal, but I think we're still in it. I think we've still got opportunities here. We've been creating opportunities, and really looking forward to the second half actually.
Yeah, and you're a board member these days for Football South, so you're obviously quite heavily involved in a lot of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, and there's a lot of excitement these days around what's happening here with Southern United and Football South, so no doubt you're playing a big part of that behind the scenes.
Yeah, look, I've really enjoyed being part of the board so far. Been on it about a year and a half now. When football's in your blood, you want to get involved as much as you can. When you can't play as much as you used to, then you look to try and support in other ways. So I think the way things are going down here in Dunedin with Southern United and the way Chris has been running Football South over the last few years, and the real excitement that we've got around the turf as well. There's been a lot of progress made in the last 2 to 3 years, and from a board member we're supporting that. We're supporting the strategic direction that Chris and his team are putting forward for us to look at. We're on board with the way things are going. We're really pleased about the way things are going. And Southern United as well is part of that Football South makeup, and I think over the last few years that has come a long way as well. We've got some really good people in some really important positions, starting with Paul Riley as coach, who's done a fantastic job. We are looking for the future as well, so we were still waiting on decisions to be made around the National League and things like that. They're pretty critical for us down here. So hopefully a few decisions like that will be made in the not too distant future, so we can actually plan a bit better rather than what we've been doing in the past with this year on 1 year, so we can plan 2, 3, 4 years ahead. So lots going on, but real positive stuff that's been happening down here.
And you talk about a lot of the positive stuff there, and a lot of it is focused on development of the potential stars of the future that we have here. You were All White yourself, and a bit of a sort of legend from, I know when, I don't want to make you feel really old, but from when I was a kid growing up, you were one of the sort of legends of the game down here that everyone sort of looked up to. Wouldn't it be great to see more players from down this way being able to sort of advance and make their mark on the international stage?
Yeah, well, I think you're right. I mean, from my day, we're going back a few years now, but the opportunities that I have don't seem to be there at the moment, as far as exchanges with teams over in England or Scotland in some cases. I'm really keen for those sort of relationships to be built again. Personally, I went to Crystal Palace back in 85, 86, across November through to February. Another player, Mike McGarry, went to Newcastle, and we had reciprocal agreements with those clubs. And in the old Dunedin City days, a player from Crystal Palace and a player from Newcastle came out and supported. So, I'd like to see those sort of relationships built again. I think that would be only really good for the game down here as well.
It would be great. I think I read a wee while back that Paul Gascoigne just about made it over here as one of those exchanges.
He was, yeah. So Paul was very, very close to joining Dunedin City. We got another player actually, Peter Haddock, who replaced Paul Gascoigne at the time. There was something happening with Paul at the time at Newcastle where he sort of went off the rails a wee bit, so they pulled him back and decided to keep him back there. So, but anyway, the player we've got, Peter Haddock, he certainly came over and did a great job for us as well.
So I'm guessing that means you sort of follow Crystal Palace quite closely these days, do you?
Yeah. For me, both Crystal Palace and Liverpool from obviously when I was a kid watching them on TV, and Crystal Palace through the ties that I had there when I was playing in the reserves. And actually, and it's a joy actually. I watch Ian Wright, who commentates on TV quite a lot now, and he gives his opinions of things. When I first arrived at Crystal Palace back in '86. They had just signed him from non-league, and what a player he turned out to be. So, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. And you think Liverpool are going to hang in there this season, or you don't want to jinx it?
No, fingers crossed. I think they're too good this year to let it slip. I think there's still a wee way to go, but fingers crossed that they do come through and provide all the supporters throughout the world another title after so many years. So yeah, really looking forward to hopefully them pulling that off.
Great. And just as the players are about to make their way back onto the field, and while you're looking into the crystal ball with predictions, how's the second half going to go?
I think Southern's half this year. I think 2-1 in the end. I think good second half performance from Southern will see us through.
Brilliant. Cool. Thanks very much, Graham.
Great. Nice
Cheers.
to be here.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Right, so welcome back to the second half here at Forsyth Barr Stadium of the ISPS HANDA Premiership match between Southern United and Waitakere United, with Waitakere leading 1-0 thanks to an Andrew Aber goal. It was a very evenly fought first half, with Southern having a number of good chances actually, and Nick Draper in goals for Waitakere coming up with some great saves. So it should be a really good second half here, shouldn't it, Louis?
Yeah, I'd say so. I can see Southern definitely scoring a goal. If they keep up the tempo they were playing at in the first half, then yeah, I think they definitely will score a goal.
Now I see that number 12, Ben Wade, is out there on the right wing for Southern. So, and Connor McDonald's still out there at the moment. So just see who has come off, whether it's maybe Ben Dealey, who had been on that right wing.
Yeah, it looks like Ben Dealey's come off. Interesting news from around the grounds. Team Wellington just won 6-3 against Hawke's Bay United.
Wow. So Team Wellington, who couldn't breach Southern's goal last week, the shackles have clearly come off this week with a bit of a goal fest. That would have had plenty of chances to get the goal celebrations in then, wouldn't you, Louis, with the scoreline like that?
Yeah.
Southern do still have a game against Hawke's Bay. It might be our penultimate match of the league in a few weeks' time.
There's Whitehead. Oh, team got up. Waitakere get it. Here's Andrew Arbor, the goal scorer.
I'd say at half-time, Paul would have said, let's keep doing lots of the good stuff and let's try and cut out those sloppy passes, like those couple there.
Yeah, he'll be wanting to keep the energy levels up. The substitution of Ben Dealey for another wide player, Ben Wade, isn't a big surprise. Maybe wouldn't have expected it necessarily at half time, but that might have just been Paul just wanting to shake things up a little bit as well. And just in case you weren't here earlier on, as you can see with the sun streaming through the roof here at Forsyth Barr, it's very hot out there in the centre of the pitch.
Actually, it looks like Ben Dealey's still on the field. It looks like a slight change in formation for Southern United. It looks like Ben Dealey might actually be playing at fullback.
Yes.
Connor
O'Keefe's gone from right fullback to left fullback, and he's there now with a brilliant block on Andrew Aber. So they'll be looking for Connor and his experience to close down Aber, who was quite dangerous in that first half and scored the goal. And I see, maybe is it Sam Pickering maybe who made way?
Yeah, it looks like Sam's made way. So
as Waitakere are on the ball here, and Look at that. Can't run without legs. Great stuff from Danny Ledwith. Big block there on Jake Michelle.
Switched over to number 20.
So Bassett
Oliver Bassett.
up against Ben Dealey at right fullback now for Southern. He's going to have his work cut out with Bassett, a dangerous player for the Auckland side.
We were talking last week, Ben Dealey has played for the national underage sides and did predominantly play fullback position for them, so he's certainly experienced in that role.
Yeah.
You'd say though he was looking pretty good for us in the first half.
Yeah, he did.
Well,
He did look good.
On the right wing.
Yeah. Headed there by Chris Carpenter, and Stephen Lastwell does give away the free kick, going through the back of Michelle there for Waitakere. Clever back heel by Bassett, and he gets the ball back from Ignacio Machuca. Easily cut out by Panza, who's so strong in the air. Lockie McIsaac gets it back for Bassett with a clever ball through for Michel.
And that's going to go out for a goal kick.
Now it's going to be a pretty interesting week next week in the Football South offices, as it's a critical time for the artificial turf build. So we're going to be seeing the lights go up next week, the artificial turf shot pad starts to go down. We're looking at a 5 to 7 week time before it's available for use.
I have to say, Chris, when things finally kind of got the green light down there, and all the talk was that it would be ready in time, or during at least the winter season, I thought there's no way that as tackle comes in there, and I wouldn't call it a malicious one from Ben Dealey there with the studs up or anything, but he did take out the opponent there, so a yellow card is probably not too unreasonable from referee Matt Conger. But yeah, as I was saying, I really didn't think things could come along that quickly down with the turf, but it's staggering just how quickly a lot of the work has happened.
Yeah, the crew working on EDR from Christchurch have been exceptional, and Polytan, who are running the project, have been top-notch too, so they've delivered on everything they said they would. Council with good support from them, so...
Burfoot swings it in, but cleared again by Panza. So the sort of ETA on completion of the turf at the moment?
Yeah, we're looking at the end of March, and we had originally set a launch date for around the 6th of April, but there is a rumour that a New Zealand football age group team may be coming down to play on the turf, and as such we're going to try and time the opening with their visit. But as I say, that's just a rumour yet to be confirmed.
Wow, well, that's pretty exciting to get something like that down here. Would that not happen without the turf, or?
Well, I think it's about cost to bring a lot of players from other regions of New Zealand to come and use the facility.
Yeah.
So usually those camps are done centrally in Auckland, but there is a little bit of funding available from an external source to do just those types of things. So we're hoping that can be accessed, and the team can come down here, and that'd be quite a cool thing to launch the turf with.
Brilliant. And I know that one of the sort of fundamental aspects of the turf was is Garvin Coughlin with a clever turn on the ball. He's just about gets his foot in, but it's well cleared and does give away a free kick. He was clearly going for the ball, so it shouldn't be any more than a wee talking to from Matt Conger. But yeah, one of the fundamental ideas of the turf was to provide an opportunity for as many footballers and sports people from across the area to be able to experience the turf as possible, including a lot of football matches for different ages and grades and that as well.
Yeah, the idea is that it's a community facility for football and other sports, but we'll be sharing it around various clubs and age groups, and making sure that everyone gets to play there during the season. There'll be lots of opportunities if both teams can agree to reschedule games on there. and opportunity for different competitions or to play catch-up games midweek. And we've already announced a girls-only league being placed on the turf on a Friday night. That's new for us this year. For under 10s, 8s and 6s. So
wow, that's really neat.
Organising that.
That would be pretty exciting for those girls playing under lights on a brand new facility like that. So that's pretty cool. And Andrew Aber goes to ground, and there'll be a goal kick for Southern United there.
It's a bit of a dive from Aber, doing what he can to win a foul.
Lewis calls it how he sees it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The beauty of youth. Of course, Lewis, you don't do any diving when you play football.
No, I wouldn't say so. Not many kids at my age do. Unless we're just mucking around and we're making jokes about Neymar, I guess. But
yeah, he does make it look quite dramatic sometimes.
Yeah, he does.
Ball just stays in there, and good pressure by the substitute Ben Wade, and only cleared out as far as Whitehead and then Al Khaleesi, but they just about get in each other's way there.
Yeah, just a slip from Al Khaleesi there, but
Stephen Last. Wow. Just quick enough there to stave off Andrew Aber. Waitakere stringing some passes together in attack there, but nicely won back.
You'll see in the programme there, you'll see quite often who's the slowest member of the team, and Stephen Last's name comes up quite a bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, that just seems like a good chance to pick on Lasty and Liam, I think.
It's certainly not Ben Wade. He has got some afterburner on him.
Yes.
As we've seen before.
Yeah, it'd be good to see him in a bit of space.
Here he is powering down the right now, looking for the ball, but
Ledwith couldn't quite get the ball out there. Bassett working hard, dropping deep. And that's a loose pass though, and it's pounced on by Wade. There's Dealey surging forward from the back, and
That'll be Southern's throw.
yeah, that's nice from Southern United there.
it's a good interview at half-time with Graham Marshall. Have you ever played against Graham?
I don't think so, and I'm quite grateful that I haven't, because I'd seen him score some spectacular goals in some of the Masters grades and that, and back when I was younger, seeing him in action when he was almost at his full powers, it led him to play a number of games for the All Whites. Certainly one of the legendary players from our region.
Yeah, him and Mike McGarry, two outstanding All Whites, still based in Dunedin.
Yeah, Mike McGarry, also absolute legend of a player. He coached me at one point at high school, I think. What do I remember from being coached by Mike McGarry? I remember being told that I was about as slow as a lamppost.
Is that why your nickname's Lamppost?
No, but I think Stephen Last would absolutely kill me in a 100-metre race.
I've had the joy of playing against Graham Marshall and with Graham Marshall, in, not in football but in futsal, and yeah, he is a strong bloke, that's for sure.
Just a wee stoppage here, and players getting some fluids on board.
Is that Andrew Aber down injured on the far side there?
Yeah, Aber just getting attended to.
Well, this should put some extra minutes on the clock at the end.
Yeah. It's a wee bit unusual seeing a Waitakere United side which doesn't feature Jake Butler, he's been an integral part of their team for a number of seasons now, but he has left mid-season to play over in Victoria in Australia. as we get back underway with Eric Panzar sending it across to Stephen Last.
Now, Eric Panzer, there is a bit of a theme developing that he is an extremely well-behaved boy at training, and often called a teacher's pet. But that does not extend to the CEO, I'm afraid. It just seems to be for Paul.
Stephen Last, slowest man at Southern United apparently.
Beautiful turn there from Conor O'Keefe.
Yes, finds Whitehead, who created all 3 goals for Garvin Coughlin against Hamilton Wanderers a couple of weeks ago.
Now it's Ben Dealey.
Ben Dealey absolutely does. Ollie Bassett makes his way into the box. Still amazing run and great shot! Just wide of goal. Did the keeper get a touch on that, or was it a defender? It might have been another save from Nick Draper.
Save from Nick Draper there to his right.
What a brilliant run from Ben Dealey, though. That's great stuff.
It's got the crowd a bit excited here now.
Yeah, so a corner here for Southern United. I think it's El Khaleesi who's going to swing it in.
I think this corner's going in the goal.
You heard it here first from Louis. Sends it in, but easily cleared. El Khaleesi finds McDonald. And just about kept in there by Waitakere.
Tight cool. Head back from El Khaleesi. To the TP. Teacher's pet.
Garvin Coughlin dropping deep, but a rare lapse of control there from him.
It's good to see him getting back there.
Yeah. Always working hard for the team. A long range effort. Picked up a deflection, I think, there. Might have sounded like it from Machuka's shot, but no, it looks like a goal kick. It's a rather optimistic effort there. Wasn't that a great run by Ben Dealey before, though, just taking on a couple of defenders? That was
unlucky not to finish it off.
Yeah, looking to cut in from the wide position. I think that's what you like to do when you're playing, isn't it, Louis?
Yep, definitely. From the left side, cutting onto my right foot. Here comes Andrew Arbour, the goal scorer. Only one in this game.
Oh, look at that from Conor O'Keefe. Just brilliant block.
Into the final 30 now.
He finds Whitehead. Yeah, just half an hour to go now. The Southern search for an equaliser. And cynically kicked away there after the referee's whistle had gone. I saw a player sent off in an A-League match for in fact it was all white Dane Ingham for picking up a couple of yellow cards, and the second one was for kicking the ball away in that kind of manner. Let's try and get Coughlin onto the ball right down in the corner, and he gets Dealey up in attack on the edge of the box again.
Oh, was he fouled?
Well,
Versus no.
Bassett just about did enough and deserves a bit of credit there for tracking back.
I think Ben Dealey just asking the fourth official there, how is that not a yellow compared to Conor McDonald's card in the first half, but they're down there and we're up here. So
yeah, is that still the only yellow card that we've seen today?
No. Ben Dealey has one already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for his sliding challenge.
Yeah. And here we go. Here's McDonald trying to get into space here. Couldn't quite get onto it. El Khaleesi working hard again, and Whitehead mopping up as he does. Kenny Ledwith sends it back there for Panzar. It's allowed space, so surges forward, and it's a nice ball into the feet of McDonald, but he's closed down. Conor O'Keefe, who's switched over at half time from right fullback across to the left. player you can chuck just about anywhere, Connor. Maybe not up front, seeing as he still hasn't scored for Southern United, but anywhere else on the park.
Oh, Ben Wade was chasing that one.
Yeah, Southern United's fullbacks now pushing up very high. It's you know, they've got nothing to lose at this point, so they are looking to be extremely attacking.
Yeah, Dealey and Wade combining, and then Ledwith in an advanced position.
Now it's Tony Whitehead. The centre of the pitch.
Waitakere, with the comfort of that 1-goal lead, have certainly decided to make sure they get the bulk of the players in behind the ball, make it really tricky for Southern to break down. Southern advance, and here's Connor McDonald. What can he do? He gets a shot in. Yeah! It's a goal for Southern United. Fantastic strike in off the post. It's Connor McDonald on debut for Southern United. He's been brilliant today, and he probably deserves that.
He will forget that 1-on-1 in the first half.
A lot of noise from the crowd who they've been waiting after a goalless draw last week. They've been wanting to see a goal from the men in blue, and it was a high-quality goal from Connor McDonald to equalise. And now this game's really going to come to life over the last 25 minutes, I think. As both teams will be desperate for a win.
What a goal.
Paul O'Reilly there just shouting to Tony Whitehead and to get closer to the ball, get more involved in the game. It'll be extremely important now that Southern can manage this game as well as trying to score, making sure they don't concede. Yeah,
I think their tails will be up, but you're right, there's Waitakere certainly have a bit of potential for a counter-attacking threat through the likes of Bassett and Abba, so we'll have to watch that, but it won't stop Southern from pressing on looking for a winner. Geez, it was a good strike though, wasn't it, Louis?
Oh yeah, off the post, unsavable shot.
Nick Drape, you've hit the nail on the head there as unsavable, because Nick Drape has been in great form in goals and made a number of good saves, but I don't think he had any chance of getting to that one.
There's a little bit of an unsung hero actually, Connor O'Keefe in attack on that occasion.
Gavin Coughlin trying to find El Khaleesi. Sorry, Chris.
Connor actually made that opportunity to get the ball across on the left, and there were 2 or 3 players in the Southern steaming into the box who could have had that opportunity, so it was good attacking play from Connor. Originally winning the ball back on the left wing after a clearance, so it was extremely important to this side.
And there's a mistake there from Waitakere, and Ben Wade pounces, but that's sloppy from Ben Wade. He's lucky that it does fall back for Southern United, and El Khaleesi takes on his man down the side there. Chris Carpenter does well actually just to stop El Khaleesi in his tracks, because we know how dangerous El Khaleesi is on the ball.
Now it's Tony Whitehead.
I thought Ben Wade was going to go on a swervy run there.
Yeah, here's Dealey again in a bit of space. He swings in across, but that's easy for Nick Draper. Couldn't quite find the head of Gavin Coughlin. Here's Dealey, who's been super impressive today, playing in a couple of different positions. Led with classy stuff, turns and finds Whitehead, who launches it out, but El Khaleesi can't quite keep that one in.
I wonder if we're going to see a substitution soon from Southern United, potentially Azariah Soroman coming on, Oliver Collody for a debut. Oh, no, not a debut, sorry, did play against Eastern Suburbs.
Oh, There's a long-range effort again there from Ignacio Machuca Matarena, but it was straight at Liam Little, who made it look nice and easy. He's not afraid to have a go from distance there, Machuca, who is still a fairly young player himself, 21 years of age, from Chile.
Had some power in it though.
Yeah, it did have some power, yeah. As Arbour lifts it forward and Jake Michelle gets on the end of it, but his left-footed shot is sent wide of goal. But that's just the wee kind of wake-up call that, as you sort of alluded to before, Chris, that's what Southern are just going to have to watch on the break there.
Liam Little having a little bit of a word there to the assistant referee, who half raised his flag.
Yeah, it did look like it would have been close to an offside call there. Great, I've just had some comments come through that we blew the eardrums of some people at home with our celebrations for the goal, but I don't think we're going to apologise for that, are we?
No, we are obviously biased.
We've been told by all and sundry involved in the team that we need to celebrate the goals, and it was a cracker too.
Now, Lewis, you had a chat with Paul O'Reilly, who gave you some examples of goal celebrations last week. And so maybe we'll see some variations on that later in this game.
Yeah, when they score, I have to go. Oh, I missed that actually.
Andrew Abba on the ball on the edge of the box. Connor O'Keefe does well to hold him up, and one way or another makes its way back to Liam Little. So cool defending again from Connor O'Keefe.
Daniel Edworth is a cool character on the ball and manages to find a little bit of space there.
Heading into the last 20 minutes of the game.
Do you see much movement down there on the subs bench, Louis?
Yeah, it looks like I've seen a couple of Southern players warming up, and
it looks like Chris Milicic is lining up one or two substitutions for Waitakere as well. As Andrew Abba drives forward looking for a free kick, but there was never a foul in that from Connor O'Keefe.
That's an extremely good challenge from Connor O'Keefe.
I wouldn't be surprised if Azariah Simon came on.
Yeah, who we're looking at here from Waitakere, is it Hayden Aish?
Yeah, so Hayden Aish looks like he is going to be entering the field for midfielder Ignacio Machuca. I think Hayden Aish is a youngster, may still only be 16 years old. I think he turns 17 later this month, and he's played in the OFC champs for the New Zealand under-17 side, so he's a player with bags of potential. So he's going to come on to the midfield here for Waitakere for the last 20 minutes of this match.
Chris Carpenter, I think, coming off there for Hayden Aish. Oh, that's a dangerous ball out.
Here's Ollie Bassett, dangerous on the ball, gets a shot away, but that's wide of Liam Little's goals. But he's a constant threat, Ollie Bassett. Ben Dealey did a good job of forcing him to cut a long way inside. Looking for the head of Garvin Coughlin, and makes its way out to Ben Dealey, who flicks it down the sideline.
Waitakere throw. Oh, sorry. Waitakere throw.
Excellent tackle there from Daniel Edwards.
Nice one led with, and a great pass through to Connor McDonald, and he finds Garvin Coughlin inside the penalty box. Oh, tries to cut it inside, but it's blocked. Still on the ball though, Coughlin. Can he work a bit of magic?
Throws it back to Eric Panzer. Panzer back to Coogan. Is he fouled? No says no.
Southern had plenty of players forward there, so they'll just have to watch the counter-attack as Bassett's on the ball with a lot of space in the middle of the park.
Yep, Alt looks for substitution.
Rakes it forward and
Hayden
Aish on the ball, but great defending by Eric Panzer.
If you're wondering why Danny Ledworth is pretty handy at his defensive duties, then you've got to look at his record before he came to Southern United. He's played in goals and saved penalties. He's played at left fullback for many of his games, and he's played there a lot in Southern United's first season too.
Yeah.
Ben Dealey.
And Ben Wade, the substitute on the ball. Low cross, but it's cleared by Carpenter. Dangerous stuff there by Southern United.
Ben to Ben there. And I think it's going to be a Ben to take the corner.
Yeah, it might be Danny Ledworth who swung it in with his left foot.
Yeah, he's got a golden left foot, he does.
Waitakere United, one of the best records in the league over a number of years. They've struggled a bit this season, and Southern have got a pretty good record against them in the last couple of years. And Andrew Abba gets it away, but only as far as Coughlin, and he's on the ball again here, the Irishman. Be another corner there. In the last 10 meetings between these two sides, each team's had 4 wins with a couple of draws.
4 wins and 2 draws, yeah.
Al Khaleesi with this corner here. Stephen Last will be lining this one up. And it's actually off a defender's head and across the goal. Connor O'Keefe getting into nosebleed territory.
Al
And
Khaleesi.
Khaleesi
Beautiful piece of skill.
finds Whitehead. Who gets
Whitehead.
a shot? Oh! Just wide it again. Was that the keeper's hand who's just flicked it wide? I think that might have been going in, and you can see from all of the celebrations from his teammates there that Nick Draper might have just pulled off another great save to keep the scores deadlocked here.
He has been exceptional today.
He has.
He's made 3 or 4 extremely good saves.
Yeah. Another corner, and that's easy for Draper again.
Can he spark a counter-attack? There's the substitute, Hayden Bash.
Great work from Ben Wade there.
Good pressure and gets Coughlin onto the ball, and he tries to find Al Khaleesi.
Oh,
And
hands
Panzer with a
up.
slip, and he's
He's recovered well, or has he?
Jake Michelle, but Stephen Last does well. Be interesting to see if the ref. I did wonder if he might even look to give a yellow card for Eric Panzer, who tried to slow things down a bit, but Southern did well to get out of that one there.
Whew. Last 15 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like there's still a goal in this game, so
I'd agree.
yeah. Stephen Last is always going to win that aerial battle with Andrew Abba, and Liam Little catches that one. Yeah, you know that Nick Draper must be a pretty handy goalkeeper when he's keeping Silvio Rodic on the bench. Rodic has been a starter in the league for a number of years. He's a former Croatian under 21, I think, international player, and but yeah, Draper is in fantastic form at the moment. As Ledworth finds Al Khaleesi with a clever chip through to Coughlin. He goes down the keeper and he's gone down, and no choice there but to award a penalty, and we've just been talking Nick Draper up. And he's taken out Garvin Coughlin.
Penalty, Southern United. Real chance to go into the lead now.
Yeah, put the mocker on Draper there. Not even going to apologise.
He's got to get a red card for that.
I don't know if it'll be a red card because he was legitimately going for the ball, I think, but wouldn't be surprised if he picked up a booking. But the important thing from Southern United's perspective is that they've been awarded a spot kick to give them a chance to take the lead. Garvin Coughlin, the man who was fouled, is the usual penalty taker, and he's just having to get back to his feet here as we see another substitution here for Southern United. And
yeah, it's Colin McDonald coming off.
Yeah.
Azariah Sorman.
Yeah, so the exciting Azariah Sorman comes on. What a fantastic shift from Connor McDonald scoring Southern United's opening goal.
I think Paul O'Reilly's just trying to manage that yellow card situation as well.
To be honest, I'm surprised that he stayed on this long, considering how much effort he's put in throughout this game. He's done well to last this long. But
I don't like these moments, Morgan. It regresses me to Euro 96. Being at home as a child, watching penalty shootouts.
An Englishman never likes penalties. But
here comes.
Luckily, Garvin Coughlin is an Irishman, so
Coughlin.
He's up against the English goalkeeper, Nick Draper. Garvin Coughlin steps up. And sends it down the middle and puts Southern United into the lead 2-1. Cool as a cucumber. Great stuff, Garvin Coughlin.
Fans gone wild.
Coughlin with his 10th goal of the season. And I think they've all come in his last, might be 9 matches. He's just been in such a rich vein of form.
Now, Morgan, I will admit that I had my eyes closed during that penalty. Was it down the middle?
I think it was pretty much down the middle, but he had sent Draper sprawling, so the keeper didn't come close to saving it. So Southern United have come from behind in this one to lead Waitakere United 2-1, and it'll be interesting to see how Southern United play this one out now.
Didn't the New Zealand captain, the Whites captain, said that, didn't he? He said it would be 2-1.
Former All Whites legend Graham Marshall, who we had a chat to at half-time, predicted a 2-1 scoreline.
But it could change. It's still 10 minutes to go.
Garvin and I had a conversation in midweek about taking penalties, and I'm happy to report he ignored all my advice and scored it anyway. So I don't think I'll be brought on as a penalty coach anytime soon in the Southern United setup.
He's a cool customer, and here's Coughlin on the ball again. He's can't find the new man Sorman there though.
Here's Andrew Arbour.
Yeah, what can O'Keefe do to shut him down? Oh, just brilliant defending again from Connor O'Keefe. Doesn't dive in, but just does everything that he needs to. Ben Wade on the ball for Southern, but it's a bit easy there for the Waitakere player Lachlan McIsaac. How will Waitakere react? They've got to sort of throw everything at this now, as O'Keefe gets clipped from behind and picks up an easy free kick. Great stuff from O'Keefe again.
So Lewis, who do you think is the best penalty taker in world football at the moment, other than Garvin Coughlin?
I wouldn't actually go with Messi. I'd say Cristiano Ronaldo converts a lot of his. So does Griezmann.
As we see a substitute for Waitakere with Oscar Brown coming on, and so Jake Michelle, who's come off, he's worked pretty hard up an attack. You're taking a few penalties yourself, Louis?
Yeah, I have. I wouldn't say I'm the best at penalties. I prefer to be running, the ball to be moving, me to be moving, and I shoot, but yeah.
Have you ever seen the penalty shootouts that they used to do in the MLS and a few other competitions, where instead of taking it from the penalty spot, you start on halfway with the ball, just one-on-one versus the keeper, and you dribble up to the keeper, and you can either try and take him on from distance or you try and go around him. Have you seen that before?
A bit like ice hockey.
No,
yeah, it is a bit like ice hockey. It's a very different kind of penalty.
Sounds more like my kind of shootout.
Yeah.
I'll probably go first, and I like a one-on-one, but
I remember the days of Stuart Pearce, banishing his bad memories from Italia 90.
Yes.
Alan Shearer, famous penalty takers, Matt Letizia.
Oh, Letizia, one of my favourite ever players. His free kick comes in for Southern. It's cleared to the edge of the box. And Danny Ledwith gets up high.
Really high.
Seemed to be taken out, but Bassett's done a good job of keeping the ball in here and has options forward as well. Hayden
so
Nash
they've got to be
on the
careful
ball.
here.
Yeah, plenty of players forward here for Waitakere.
Oh, it's a
and
really
Andrew
good chance.
Abbott. Oh! Well, scrambled clear by Liam Little, and Andrew Abbott just couldn't quite get the ball to fall at his feet there. Just a few yards out from goal. Southern getting out of jail there.
You can see it being quite a stressful last 10 minutes of this game, guys.
Yes.
Be great if Southern could get all 3 points.
Corner kick here for Waitakere in towards the far post. But substitute Oscar Brown can't keep it in, so it'll be a goal kick and just a chance to slow things down a little bit here for Southern, get their breath back.
In other fixtures, Wellington Phoenix reserves playing Tasman United today in Wellington. It's 0-0 at the moment. I think they're only about half an hour into the game or so.
Hopefully Wellington can hold Tasman.
Yeah, for Southern's purposes in the table, certainly Tasman not taking all 3 points would be beneficial.
And that's a handball there from the Waitakere player, so another chance here for Southern just to slow things down a little bit and launch the ball forward.
Azariah, he's got a lot of space out there. He's looking for Garmin. He's going to go out for a Southern throw.
Yeah, it looks like Alex Cox is going to come on here. And
yeah, might have to wait till the next stoppage in play as the throw-in comes into El Khaleesi.
I imagine it will be El Khaleesi who makes way.
Yeah.
Paul will probably drop back to a 4-4-2.
Yeah, well, Alex Cox came on at a similar stage of the match last week against Team Wellington and did a brilliant job, actually. He was very busy, got on the ball a few times, so good chance for the youngster to come on for the last few minutes here.
He plays at your club.
He does. He had a great season up at Waitakere last winter. It was a great addition to the club. As Ben Dealey turns in space.
There's a 4-on-4 here if Southern want to take advantage of it.
Just Southern clearly just wanting to be a wee bit cautious about sending too many players forward. But El Khaleesi finds Coughlin. He's offside just. That's a bit unfortunate there for Coughlin, is that substitute can now be made.
Yeah, it is El Khaleesi.
Yeah, another good shift from El Khaleesi. Had a couple of really nice moments in the first half on the ball. Worked really hard again today. Coach will be really happy with the shift he's put in and gets a big round of applause from the crowd.
Yeah, certainly in the last 3 games, El Khaleesi has been extremely impressive. Yeah, a bit stop-start in the first half of the season, but he's shown what he can do now.
Good work from El Khaleesi.
Connor O'Keefe there just signalling to Alex Cox that if the ball comes wide, that he'll take the wide man and Cox needs to drop into the midfield, just above the centre-back position.
Yeah, well, no doubt inside the last 5 minutes now, Waitakere will be sending everyone forward when they can now, so Southern will be very mindful of that. And Dealey just about got done by Bassett there, but well cleared by Southern.
Azariah, good press. Forced it back to the keeper. Dying moments.
Yeah, Carpenter on the ball here for Waitakere.
It would be lovely if Southern could find another goal.
Nicely done again by Connor O'Keefe. Andrew Abba, he's been dangerous whenever he's been on the ball. There's a bit of a
play there by Bassett.
sloppy touch by McIsaac, maybe just a bit tired out there. It's very hot conditions. And this Waitakere team, as it's lifted in by Carpenter, but no danger there. He goes for a goal kick. This Waitakere United team's coming off a game last weekend against Tasman where they had to play in extremely hot conditions in Nelson and with 10 men for most of the match. So their legs will be hurting about now, I would imagine.
Paul O'Reilly there, just having a chat with Ben Dealey. I think asking him to play a bit more defensively. Went one-on-one with Oliver Bassett.
Yeah, well, Dealey, who started the game in a more attacking position, has done a good job since he's moved to the back. And as you said earlier, Chris, he's played a lot of his football back there, but no doubt has always had attacking instincts from that sort of fullback position. So at this stage in the game, you want him just to defend, and Bassett just about got round in there, but the beast, Eric Panzer, just like a tank, knocks Bassett over there.
Yeah, Ben Dealey's just got to be careful there. He got caught again by Bassett.
Yeah, maybe just could do with a wee bit more help from his teammates there as well, in terms of not getting too isolated, because a player like Bassett, just like Andrew Arbour, is always going to be dangerous in a one-on-one situation.
High boot there from Eric Panzer.
Yeah, so a free kick here for Waitakere United. Likely to send the big men from the back up there, and again Chris Carpenter, who scored a headed goal last week against Tasman, makes his way up towards the far post, and the number 5 for Waitakere could be the target, although it's quite a flat one and easily claimed by Liam Little.
Okay. And into injury time now.
Did you see the number held up there? I think it was a 4.
So it sounds like it might have been around 4 minutes additional time. And Southern try and hang on here to their 2-1 lead over Waitakere United. Nicely worked there by Southern, with Soroman nodding it back. Like to see him get on the ball a couple of times here in the final minutes, and Ben Wade just about gets onto the end of that as it's knocked back for Draper and goals.
Oh, Tony's going to put that one.
Tony Whitehead finds the substitute Alex Cox, and that's really poor from Waitakere, giving away a free kick there and a chance for Southern to slow it down, but they take a quick one. Whitehead to Coughlin, and it's an interesting decision. Ledwith now, he's onto his left foot, and a clever ball through to Simon, 1-on-1, and just across the face of goal. He's hardly been on the ball since he came on as a substitute, but brilliant run there, and Ledwith found him with a very cleverly disguised through ball, but the angle of the shot was just always going away from the goal there, wasn't it, Louis?
Yeah. If I were in that situation, I'd just try and smack it.
Go for the power, you reckon?
Yeah.
That would have killed the game off as we're moving into the final couple of minutes of stoppage time, but still 2-1 here. Stephen Last with a good block there. Andrew Arbour on the ball.
Yeah, they've got to keep Andrew Arbour away from the box as much as possible.
Yeah, he's having to come deep there. And that's pretty comfortable for Stephen Last to shepherd away for another goal kick. I think Liam Little picked up a yellow card last week for a little bit of apparent time wasting right near the end, so he doesn't take too much time here.
Last minute and a half to go.
He thumps it forward. Coughlin looking to get on the end of it. And Connor O'Keefe has just got around the outside there. Bassett got onto the end of it, but is very well blocked. Ben Dealey doing a good job there.
Final minute.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a little bit stressed.
Yeah, it's definitely nervy moments here.
Well, I need to pee.
Oh no, against the crossbar! Liam Little couldn't get to the ball, the header went against the crossbar.
Oh,
That's not going to help things, Chris, and then a shot comes in, but it's well wide of goal.
I think Liam Little was knocked over there.
Wow, that was a chance for Waitakere to equalise.
Well, they've hit the woodwork twice now in this game.
But can Southern hang on now for a great come from behind win after going a goal down in the first half? It's been a very good second half. Coughlin acrobatically, and Simon on the ball with one-on-one with the defender. Nico Steinmetz just about did enough, and there the full-time whistle goes. 2-1 Southern United, come from behind win. It's a little bit of a squaring up right at the final whistle, but I'm sure things will calm down and the Southern team will celebrate. A really good 3 points there.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Was that reflective of the game, the result in the end?
Yeah.
I think they just about did enough. I'm really pleased to see that Waitakere came out with a really strong team effort here today, but Southern were up to the task, and just a really good second half.
Graham Marshall there just saying goodbye, and he's got a bit of a smug look on his face after.
Yeah, so I think he's predicted that that final scoreline when he was having a chat to us at half time. He also predicted that Liverpool were going to continue on and win the Premier League, so make of that what you will.
I think many of our board and staff would be extremely happy if Liverpool won the title.
No doubt.
I'm a Nottingham Forest fan, so no, I won't get my wish this year, I'm afraid.
But I think Paul O'Reilly, Connor O'Keefe and the boys will be delighted that after such a staunch effort last week in the draw with Team Wellington, that they've kicked on. And, to be honest, going into this game with Waitakere down towards the tail end of the table, Southern would have thought this is a game that they really want to be winning. So to come out and get the 3 points is really good. They applaud the crowd, which built up throughout the game.
So now, moments like this make the whole effort worthwhile, seeing the fans and the team interacting and them really getting behind the team. That's brings a tear to my eye, Morgan.
Yes, yeah, no, it's just all the hard work that goes on from Paul and the likes of yourself as well, Chris. This is what it's all about. Winning games in the National League.
Well, guys, I think that about wraps it up for us here. Just like to say thank you again to Anthony Bakey for his technological magic. Once again, putting on a great live stream. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Morgan and Lewis, for your assistance today.
Yeah, thank you, Chris, for helping put this all together. It's great to see again, just being one of the flagship teams in the league in terms of what we're putting out there in terms of media, and to be able to stream a game like this to fans around the country and around the world is great. So hope to see everyone again soon.
Yeah, well, our next home game, 13th of February at Sunnyvale Park. Wednesday night kick-off there against Auckland City. Lindsay won't be available as she's the fourth official for that game, so you might be called back into action, Morgan.
Yep. Oh, well, I'd be happy to help there. And Sunnyvale, a very different kind of venue to Forsyth Barr here, but but some great facilities out there as well. So it'd be great to see a big crowd out there supporting the team on hopefully a good evening.
Brilliant, guys. Well, thank you very much. I hope everyone else has a great weekend, or what's left of it, and we'll see you on the 13th.
Thank you.